This is It Was a Thing on TV.
Spoiler number one is Dr. Lee frowns. It stinks.
What is going on? What is going on?
Episode 95, submission number 761, Kid Nation. Kid Nation aired on CBS from September 19th to December 12th, 2007, for a total of 13 episodes.
This is Bonanza City, New Mexico, or what's left of it anyway. The pioneers who ran this place back in the 1800s ran it into the ground. Lack of leadership and lack of will combined to leave this town completely and totally dead. But that's about to change. Now, 40 new pioneers will try to fix their forefathers' mistakes and build a town that works. It won't be easy. Pioneer living is tough. And the amazing part is, these pioneers are children. That's right, the oldest just turned 15. The youngest is 8.5. They are every kind of kid imaginable. City kids, country kids, rich, poor, and everything in between. And they're on their way here right now.
I'm not going to be with my parents. There's no adults, and I think I'm going to die out here because there's nothing. It's kind of hard to believe that I'm going to be living out here, but I'm going on this trip with my sister, Olivia. Here's what I'm afraid about. If I catch a bad disease or I break a leg, literally.
40 kids with no parents, no teachers anywhere. And their leaders, they're kids too. It's the first ever Kid Nation.
Now, guys, we've seen a lot of reality television in the last 20 years.
I've seen more than my fair share, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, and we've had your Survivors, your Big Brothers, your Amazing Races over the years on CBS, but there was one show that came in the late 2000s that just came and went, and this was Kid Nation.
Kid Nation. Sounds like it's a nation, right? It's a nation, right?
It's a nation of kids.
Of kids, yeah?
Yeah, it answers the question. What would happen if you let a bunch of kids out in an abandoned town and they did whatever the hell they wanted?
Sounds like a recipe for disaster, if you ask me.
Yeah.
This can't end well. This will not end well.
No, it would not end well.
But we're getting ahead of ourselves. The premise of this show, 40 kids, aged 8 to 15. They've all packed up their worldly goods, well, whatever they can fit in a backpack or something, and moved to a ghost town in New Mexico called Bonanza City. Actually, it's a fictional ghost town in New Mexico called Bonanza City. It was actually filmed on the Bonanza Creek movie ranch, which was, adjacent to Bonanza City.
Yeah, Bonanza City is an actual real-life ghost town. It's located 13 miles southwest of Santa Fe in New Mexico. According to Wikipedia, the town was founded in 1880 as a mining town, following the discovery of gold and silver in the nearby, I can't even pronounce this word, Cerritos Hills, I think. I was going to say Chelios Hills, but no. Let
me take a look at that.
Like Chris Chelios, but I'm like, no, Chris Chelios is spelled
Cerrillos.
Cerrillos. Okay. It'd be much more funnier if it was Chris Chelios Hills, to be honest.
That's staying in. That's an outtake.
This has been Greg learns how to roll his R's.
The Chris Chelios Hills.
It was later abandoned sometime in the early 1900s. Later in the 20th century, the Bonanza Creek Movie Ranch, which contains a movie set depicting the mining town, was built near the ruins of Bonanza City. And, of course, Kid Nation filmed there.
Okay, so we have all these kids descending upon this ghost town. All the grunt work, it seems, has been done for them. Here's a town. Go nuts. Do what you have to. Make your own civilization. Do your own thing. And we'll see what the results is.
Yeah.
This is laissez-faire with preteens. What can possibly go wrong?
Everything?
Well, yeah, kinda. Well, okay, so, yes, you are, and you know what? Let's get the kayfabe out of the way here. Yes, they are settling on this town. They're doing their own thing. They're creating their own system of government and their own system of society. But they didn't do it for free.
No.
No, who does?
No, they got $5,000. And gold stars were valued at $20,000 and $50,000 for anyone who was decided, but anyone who was the best or the most important, what am I looking for here?
Yeah, the most important in keeping the society active, successful, upright.
Yeah.
The MVP, essentially. Let's just break it down to that.
Oh, yeah.
You're looking for, excuse me when I say this, you're looking for the Shane Bieber or the Luke Voigt of Kid Nation each week.
I thought you were gonna say you're looking for the LeBron James of Kid Nation.
No, because Giannis won the MVP again this year.
Giannis did win the MVP this year.
No, and I'm pimping Shane Bieber because he obviously pitches for my team, and he's like 8-1. But also, I got to give props to Luke Voigt because he's got 20 homers so far this year as of recording.
No, guys, the real answer is the Gold Star winner is the Jacob deGrom of Kid Nation.
Former Las Vegas 51 in the house.
I just waiting for Chico to throw out a former Charlotte player.
Glenn Rice.
Glenn Rice, Kemba Walker.
No, I was talking Charlotte baseball, but yeah, okay.
Whatever.
Rex Chapman, hey, he's an internet star.
Muggsy Bogues.
Who doesn't like Muggsy Bogues? There
Everybody
you go.
loves
Hey.
Muggsy Bogues.
Hey, speaking of Charlotte Hornets, who knows, soon we might have future installment Larry Johnson as Grandmama.
That's in. That's going in.
Mike is like, no. He's shaking his head.
Continue.
So, well, what's there to say except that's the premise of the show, and how long was it supposed to last?
It was 13 weeks, wasn't it?
Well,
Yeah,
but wasn't it supposed to last beyond 13 weeks?
Well, it was 13 weeks an episode, but in accelerated time, it was like 40 days.
Okay, it makes sense because you have 40 kids, 40 days.
40 kids, 40 days. Yeah. So, 40 days, and what do we learn? Well, I don't know what we learned. Greg, help us out. Help a brother out here.
Well, we learned that when you put a bunch of kids on television and they're left all on their own with no parents around, some crazy shit's gonna happen.
We're going to go over all the crazy shit now, aren't we?
Yeah. Episode 1. I'm trying to be a leader here. 40 kids across America arrive in Bonanza City for 40 days and are immediately struck by the lack of comforts in their new home. Friendships emerge and teamwork ensues. Issues arise as the first town council convenes. The first gold star worth $20,000, equivalent to $25,000 in 2019, thanks Wikipedia, is awarded on the series premiere. Showdown. The districts had 1 hour to fill 3 large bottles with their own district-colored water by carrying oil gushers to certain spouts on the ground. All 4 teams competed in the task in the allotted time. The town council chose 7 more outhouses over an old-fashioned television.
Now wait a second.
But that would actually
an old-fashioned television. I'm stuck in one.
This is the times where we wish that this was a video podcast because Mike is actually stuck in an old-fashioned television. But yeah, that is very rare for kids like that to make a responsible decision. It's like, okay, yes, we can be entertained on the television, but at the same time, we all have to go to the bathroom sometime.
Yeah.
Yeah, even an outhouse, I'd take that over. Well, I don't even know if there's any place to go use the facilities out there. I mean, there's no leaves, so you can't wipe. Excuse the conversation, but yeah, the outhouses are definitely a lot more important than the TV. Good job, kids.
The Gold Star was awarded to Sophia as the town council recognized Sophia's work ethic in the kitchen. It was a fairly easy decision for the council, despite Sophia voicing complaints over what she saw as problems in the kitchen. And as far as exits go, Jimmy being the youngest contestant, Jimmy was homesick and decided to leave Bonanza City, even though Cody, Laurel, and Campbell tried to convince him to stay. His decision came after 3 days of debate over his abilities versus what was expected of him. Well, that sucks.
It's tough being away from home, especially when you're the youngest contestant, who's, I'm going to guess, probably about 8 years old or so. Being away from your parents is very difficult. So I totally get it.
Yeah. Episode 2, To Kill or Not to Kill. Bonanza City deals with its first crisis as temperatures plunge and the water supply freezes. Oh no. As the town debates whether or not to kill chickens for protein, a group of kids protests by locking the chickens and themselves in the coop, but they kill 2 chickens.
Oh, PETA's going to have their heads.
Well, judging by the ratings, I'm sure they just didn't care.
They weren't watching.
The town council finds themselves in a tense stalemate as they debate between 2 possible recipients for the Gold Star. The kids had to build a pipeline between an active water pump and a water wheel with various obstacles put in their way. The green team was the only team that didn't finish within the 1 hour time limit, and the reward, which was either a giant water slide or conveniently placed water pumps designed not to freeze, was not awarded.
Oh, that's painful.
Yeah.
The water supply freezes, and one team couldn't get it done within the appropriate time limits, so they don't get a water pump, which won't freeze.
What did they get, Willy Wonka?
You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Well, Michael would be the Gold Star winner in episode 2 because he won it because of his caring behavior towards others and generous spirit. Michael was chosen over the other leading contender, Greg, who Mike suspected was motivated only by the prize money and not by any viable qualities or contributions to the town. Yeah, this Greg guy, he's a disgrace to my name. He's like the villain of the whole series.
All that's missing is the Chico.
Yeah. There were no exits in episode 2. Emily considered leaving after the town killed the chickens and because she felt homesick and an outsider. But she decided to stick it out because she wants to be a quote-unquote tough cowgirl. Well, good for her. Episode 3, Deal with It. See, deal with it. And considering this is not a video podcast, I'm wearing the Deal with It shades on my video filter on Zoom. What do you think, Mike?
We've talked about my video filter. We've talked about your video filter. We just need Chico to come back and tell everybody about his background. But yeah, Greg's got the Deal with It. I don't give two what's about anything. Sunglasses on, and it's quite a look.
It is. I wish this was a video podcast, folks, so you could see this. Okay. In Deal With It, prosperity leads to trouble when the kids spend their newly earned buffalo nickels on sweets and party the night away. Oh my God. Do you remember the days when you spent your buffalo nickels on sweets?
This is like the preteen version of Studio 54. They earned buffalo nickels on sweets and partied the night away. What is this, 1920? Are they flappers?
Are the kids going to be snorting like
Pixie sticks? Pixie sticks, yes. Oh, that's horrible. Kids, don't do that. Please don't.
No, you don't want
But
that.
also at the same point, did they use real buffalo nickels? I wonder because, well, buffalo nickels would be over 100 years old at that point, or actually the newest ones would have been probably about 85 years old. And they'd actually have legitimate value unless they're, really worn down. They're not like, mint or near mint.
Well, allegedly they wanted to build the gold stars out of like actual gold. So it wouldn't surprise me if they had actual buffalo nickels on this show.
Well, even if they did have actual buffalo nickels on the show, what do you want to bet that they were actually, props?
Oh, I'm sure they're props, but
It was like, yeah, they didn't spend that much on this show.
All right. Well, the council, they decide to institute some law and order when they decide to set up a town curfew to curb the kids partying. So the districts had 5 minutes to find 3 ace cards attached to certain sheep in a corral, and all 4 teams completed the task within that time frame. The town council chose a microwave with a barrel of cocoa over 40 hot pizzas, leading to anger from the residents who wanted pizza. However, it was later accepted that having a microwave was better than pizzas. Now, hold up, guys. I have an issue with this.
I have an issue here right now. I am eating a pizza.
Yeah.
Imagine me eating 40 of these in a ghost town.
It's not 40 per person, Chico. Come on.
Okay.
But it's 40 pizzas. There's 40 kids.
That's one pizza.
That's one pizza per person.
And it's supposed to last 40 days.
Yeah, and the kids, they're probably going to go through the pizza in like maybe 2 days at most. I don't know. The pizza sounds tempting, but what could they do with the microwave? I mean, do they have microwavable food in this ghost town / newly created quote unquote nation?
Yeah, there's no supermarket in Bonanza City. What the hell are they gonna do?
Well, they got the cocoa and they got the water, albeit it's ice water because it froze. So I'm guessing they could make hot cocoa to stay warm. That would be the logical guess in my opinion.
Yeah. What else? What else you got?
Well, the gold star was won by Mallory. She won it for overall contributions to Bonanza City for her hard work as a merchant and her constant optimistic attitude, which was praised by the town council, who also chose to give the star to Mallory for her birthday.
Aww.
Laurel, in particular, felt that the contributions from the town's younger kids had been overshadowed during the first 7 days, and giving the gold star to Mallory was a way to rectify this. Mallory won out over contenders Morgan and Greg, who Taylor campaigned hard for it. Now, once again, guys, no exits in this episode. Both Cody and Mallory had expressed homesickness and wanted to go home, but both decided to stay as Cody didn't want to leave his friends, and Mallory had Olivia to stick up to her.
And Mallory just got a gold star and $20,000, so you know what? You can all suck it at that point.
Damn right. Episode 4. Bless us and keep us safe. Religious and political strife comes to Bonanza City when the council dictates that all the kids attend a religious group service.
Boy.
Oh no, this isn't going
to end well.
No. When no one apart from the council leaders turns up to the service, the council leaders are left disappointed, as kids of different faiths bicker with each other. It seems as though the town might fracture until Morgan unites the arguing groups by holding a relaxed town bonfire where kids of different faiths bond together in common prayer.
That is called a teachable moment.
Yes. So the showdown in this episode, the Pioneers had 30 minutes to build a puzzle in the shape of a steeple onto a frame using squared off pieces. And then they decided to crank the puzzle to lift it upright. When all 4 teams finished in time, the town council decided to let the rest of the town vote on the reward, as they were worried that the town would be upset with the council's decision. So the town chose a collection of holy books over a 9-hole miniature golf course.
Obvious joke coming. Holy moly, what a good decision.
Yeah. So the gold star in this episode was won by Morgan, who won it over Greg and Zach for her friendliness and her successful, no-pressure establishment of a prayer time. Zach's nomination was rejected by a jealous Taylor, as Zach received praise for his hard work. Greg also had his nomination dismissed by Mike, who still did not believe Greg had become a positive presence in the town. Now, we have an exit in this episode.
Aww.
Cody, sad and homesick, missed his loved ones, including his girlfriend Ashley in Ohio, and decided to leave. His friends, especially Campbell, were very upset following his departure. But I mean, come on, he's going home back home to his girlfriend.
Yeah, you can't blame him.
I would have done it too.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be leaving if I didn't get those pizzas.
Or the gold star.
Episode 5, Viva la Revolution! It's time for Bonanza City to hold its first town council elections. Mike and Taylor struggle with the political process as eager kids vie for their council seats. When political mudslinging gets real dirty, as Markel rips Taylor's campaign posters in half, young Leela winds up in tears, and it's Greg that comforts her. Oh, see, Greg does have a heart after all.
All Gregs have hearts.
Well, not everyone. The kids had 30 minutes to find 7 pictures of U.S. presidents and put them in chronological order. One at a time, they would race into a field of piñatas and break one open to see if there was a picture inside it. If they found one, they would race back to give it to the council leader. If not, another person in the district would repeat the process. After 7 pictures were found and put in order, the council leaders had to run up to a bell and ring it. The green team finished a split second before the yellow team, but they had their pictures in the wrong order. This allowed the yellow team to become the upper class for the second time. Laurel's green team managed to come in second for the first time. As a reward, the town council chose toothbrushes, toothpaste, mouthwash, and floss over a party that would have included ribs, chicken, hamburgers, and hot dogs. While many of the kids were upset with this choice, the council realized the toothbrushes were something they all needed, especially the kids with braces.
Remember, these guys are preteens, which means orthotics are a thing. And food getting caught in said orthotics, even more a thing.
Oh, yep. Yes, they are, yes.
No, I wouldn't know from first-hand experience because I've never had orthotics.
I have, and they're right on. You need to keep those
orthodontics. Sorry. Shit.
Yeah, orthodontics. You're exactly right there. You got to keep those braces clean. You got to make sure you get the gaps in your teeth because if you get any food in there, that's going to give you stinky breath. You are absolutely right. You got to make sure your teeth are nice and clean and you have somewhat fresh breath. And and this is not a message from my uncle, the dentist. It's from me, Mike Klaus, educator and former brace wearer.
So Greg won the gold star for being a hard worker around Bonanza City, changing his typically negative attitude and being a positive influence on the younger members. Taylor described him as an older brother to the little kids. So the elections. On day 16, Bonanza City held their first town council elections. Each district had an opportunity to choose one member to run against their existing council leader. Everyone was allowed to vote only for their own district. Laurel won unopposed for the Green District. Even though many on the Green team have great leadership skills, no one was unhappy with the way she had been running the district, and she was somewhat surprised when she found out no one would be running against her. Now in the Brew District, NJ defeated Olivia 7 votes to 3, earning only her own vote, a vote from her sister Mallory, and 1 vote from Gianna, another district member. In the Red District, Guylon defeated Mike 9-1. Mike lost in a landslide defeat. He was the only one who voted for himself. At first, while the votes were being read, everyone was laughing in shocked disbelief. But then after he picked himself up and stepped down, the whole district tried to comfort him. Oh. In the Yellow District, Zach defeated Taylor 5-4. As there are 5 girls in the Yellow District, Taylor was confident that she had all their votes. But gaps, guys. It turned out Zach was able to persuade Randy to vote for him by suggesting that it might be best for everyone if someone else had a turn at being council leader. In addition, Markel takes down Taylor's campaign posters to sabotage the district's efforts to keep Taylor in office.
Oh my gosh!
Coming soon to a theater near you.
Oh my gosh, this is fierce.
This is crazy. This is cutthroat.
Wait, Chico, you said swing vote coming to a theater near you?
Swing vote 2 coming to a theater near you.
Yeah, I was going to say, where's Kevin Costner for this?
Kevin Costner, she's 12 and she's 12 and she's a girl. Yeah.
And I got to give props to Greg in this episode for getting the gold star. Looks like he was on the cusp of getting the gold star 2 or 3 times previous. So good on him for finally getting it.
Yeah, it was like he finally won the big one. It was kind of like Peyton Manning in the Super Bowl 41. Okay, episode 6. Bonanza is disgusting. I don't know about you guys, but Bonanza's a great show. I don't know why people would find it disgusting. Oh wait, that's something else.
Yeah, that's Bonanza, which is yeah, never mind. I completely butchered that transition.
While the new town council struggles to find a solution for Bonanza City's growing trash problem, it always comes back to the trash. They also have to deal with Taylor now that she's been voted out of power. DK continues to work hard to build a kid nation, but he's growing tired of all the petty squabbling and is seriously considering going home. Now, in the showdown in this episode, the kids had 15 minutes to locate colored tin cans representative of their district in a large enclosure filled ankle high with 1,600 gallons of beans, as to hide the cans from direct view, and with 30 pigs wallowing in the enclosure. Only one kid from each district was allowed in at a time, and they couldn't return until they found a can. The team that found the most cans in 15 minutes was awarded the upper class, and so forth for the other job classes. If all 4 districts accumulated at least 75 cans, they would be rewarded with either a choice of all the fresh fruits and vegetables they could eat, or 2 dune buggies and an unlimited supply of gasoline to operate them. The goal was met, and the council selected the fruits and vegetables for the town, given that their diets had consisted mostly of bland starches and canned goods. I don't know about you guys, but I would take the dune buggies.
Hold on. This is where we're going to disagree. I think the fruits and vegetables are the perfect thing to take here. Because, where are they going to go with just 2 dune buggies in Bonanza City?
But they have unlimited, probably. But they have unlimited gasoline.
They're going to drive to a real show? What are they going to do? But also, again, I think this also sort of maybe answers the question we had regarding the microwave. Well, if they had canned goods, they could microwave them. I'm assuming if they have soups or stews, or I mean, even if they have like canned corn or green beans or something, they could at least microwave them to heat them up. But also, speaking of beans, I love it. 1,600 gallons of beans and 30 pigs. Pork and beans.
Hey, beans are the musical fruit.
Would you like to take a survey?
Do you like beans? You like George Wendt?
You know what, guys? I would love to see a movie with George Wendt eating beans.
Maybe George Wendt should have been on this set of Kid Nation.
Would have been awesome.
Kids wouldn't have understood why or who he was, but hey, we'd get a laugh out of it.
Okay. Yep. Well, the gold star in this episode went to DK. DK was shown to be hardworking around Bonanza and had always helped to break up and manage altercations between the other kids, and the choice was unanimous among the 4 council members. Well, that's good. No exits in this episode. Taylor wanted to leave due to the pressure the council was giving her, while DK initially accepted the offer to leave, citing stress from the emotional environment around town. Guyland, both out of friendship and concerned that DK would miss out on the Gold Star, was able to talk to DK, encouraged him to stay.
I hope he got a little cut of that Gold Star cash.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for encouraging me to stay. Here's a couple grand.
Episode 7, The Root of All Evil. Sadly, this does not have a cameo from Lewis Black. Because remember when he had a show called Lewis Black, The Root of All Evil?
I remember.
Yeah.
I remember.
Life is hard in Bonanza City, but a handful of candy or root beer in the saloon is sure to brighten a young pioneer's day. But buffalo nickels are scarce to come by. Yeah, because they're freaking rare. And the kids are forced to come up with creative ways to earn a little cash, leading to a conflict as they compete for customers. When the council members discover treasure while exploring a nearby mine, will the unexpected windfall create a divide between the haves and have-nots? You won't believe what happens.
Spoiler alert, it totally does.
Showdown. The districts were to launch golden eggs using a large slingshot to be caught on the opposite side of a partition in the middle of a field. Each team attempting to catch as many eggs as possible in 15 minutes. Each district was assigned 2 members to a large cushion to catch the eggs, a third member to carry the caught eggs to a chest, and the district's council member set on the partition was to guide the catchers to the location of the egg. The remaining district members rotated as egg launchers using the slingshot. The job classifications were based on the number of eggs caught by each district. Additionally, if the combined total of caught eggs exceeded 48, the town would receive a choice between either electric washers and dryers that cost 20 cents per load, or hand-operated washers that were free to use, as well as a single change of clothes for each child. The Blue District almost single-handedly achieved the goal, collecting 38 eggs, which was more than twice as many eggs as the second-place Yellow Team caught. The council decided on the hand-operated washer and additional clothes.
Okay, that's a rational decision. Choosing the extra clothes, but taking hand-operated washers, which are free at the same time. But also, 20 cents per load? I'm surprised a washer and dryer would take buffalo nickels. It must be retrofitted or something.
Yeah.
Maybe.
So Nathan was the Gold Star winner in this episode, as he was considered a dedicated worker and had been told by several of the council members to stop working so hard and to relax. Greg, with whom Nathan was seen as having a hostile relationship, gave him a boost toward the Gold Star by recommending him for the award to the town council. There are no exits in this episode, although Nathan remarked, for half a second, I considered leaving. He decided not to.
Because you got the Gold Star, and if you left, you wouldn't get the 20 grand, kiddo.
Yeah. Oh, episode 8. This is a great episode. Starved for entertainment. The all-work and no-play pioneer lifestyle is making the town a gloomy place, as Bonanza's inhabitants become ever more starved for entertainment. Thoughts increasingly turn towards home. The town council hatches a plan to brighten spirits. A town talent show giving the pioneers a chance to show off their talents in front of their peers. Now, guys, I got to tell about one part in this episode that made me so happy. Now, we have not talked about Jared yet on Kid Nation. Jared is like the star of this show. Would you agree, Chico, that Jared is the
Jared is the star of the show. Jared is basically the Zach Morris. If we had the whole Zach Morris is trash sort of deal, Jared is trash.
Oh, but you know what the best part of this episode is? Jared does a performance of Shakespeare in this episode.
How does that go over in front of the kids?
Oh, they love it! They absolutely love it! He brings down the house with his performance of Shakespeare. Because he's Jared!
Okay, then. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, it's amazing. I gotta give credit for an 11-year-old. He really managed to commit to the whole Shakespeare thing. Good for you.
Unbelievable. Yeah.
Good for you, Jared. So the showdown this episode, the kids were given an hour to chew numerous pieces of gum dispensed from nearby gumball machines. What? They're like, what? The gum's probably like 80 years old.
But it only costs a buffalo nickel.
That's true. Finished pieces were given to the council leaders, who were to stick to the colored gum on the appropriately marked areas of a large picture. The green team came in first place for the first time ever as they got off the schneid. However, the yellow team could not complete their picture in the required amount of time, so the town was not given a reward that would have included a choice of either buckets of colored paint that could be used to liven up the dreary colors of Bonanza City, or a citywide block party for the general entertainment of the town.
I don't think Bonanza City would look good with a new coat of paint.
Question: Would you trust a 12-year-old to paint a ghost town?
No!
Exactly.
But
That too.
It would not look like painting the town in pretty colors. No, it would not make it better. It's still a town in the Old West.
Yeah, it's maybe if you give it like some white paint or a neutral tone, but you can't like paint it red or green or some other color.
No.
That just won't work in a ghost town.
So Kennedy won the Gold Star in this episode. Kennedy was shown as a person who both worked hard and interacted well with the other members of the town. Her successful performance in the talent show, outgoing personality, and her cordial relationships with others convinced many that she deserved recognition for her contributions to Bonanza City. Kennedy was also largely credited with convincing Savannah to stay. No exits in this episode, although Savannah considered leaving after claiming she was homesick. She was persuaded to stay after Kennedy performed her rapping/dancing act during the talent show, and the town members expressed their desire for her to continue.
Well, good on you, Kennedy. That's a good citizen.
Episode 9, Not Even Close to Fair, with fair spelled Fair.
I'm guessing there's a fair involved.
I guess. Resentment over the apparent inequality in the strength of each district is brewing, as the Green District suggests it should be renamed the Gold District, after earning half the gold stars. Guyland learns the hard lesson of thinking before speaking when he says his district is in need of intellectuals, making his infuriated district feel dumb. After the town prize isn't won at the showdown, Guyland accuses the other districts of being selfish, infuriating Sophia, Greg, and many others. A shocking announcement at the town hall meeting threatens explosive fireworks among several of the kids.
Okay, stuff just got real. First off, they want to be called the Gold District? Excuse me, Green District. Why do I feel like all of them should have the deal with it sunglasses on like Greg's filter on Zoom? Deal with it. We got half the stars. Ha, ha, ha. But then Guyland, man, think before you speak, kiddo. You're saying you need intellectuals in the district. Duh, you're telling your constituents they're idiots. Which makes you an idiot because that's a dumb move.
Yeah, just a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, this almost sounds like the beginning of the end, not necessarily in terms of the show, but in terms of basically the civilization, the Kid Nation. Yeah, because one district is coming across as, hey, we're better than you, and we should be like a superior status. We should be Gold District. And then another person, one of the other three districts, is calling out his constituents, his fellow district mates, for being stupid, essentially.
So we have district reassignments in this episode. Due to the journal's suggestion this week, some of the districts decided to mix up their members. Blaine was moved from blue to yellow because Zach wanted some quote-unquote manpower on his team. And Anjay wanted to separate Greg and Blaine because, quote-unquote, bad things happen when they are together. Emily was traded to the blue team for Nathan because Guyland wanted someone who is smart and works hard, and Anjay wanted to prove that he has some leadership skills by getting Emily to work harder since she started to become lazy recently. Laurel didn't want to change her district at all because she considers hers to be the closest knit group and didn't want to disturb it. Many in the town were extremely upset over the changes, especially because they were seen as unnecessary and unfair.
Taken down by a reality show trope. What can you say?
So the showdown in this episode, the new teams ran a rock hauling race. Rocks were placed in mining carts to be hauled through an obstacle course. Teams could either carry fewer rocks and have a greater chance of gaining upper class or haul more than their share to work towards the town prize, while potentially sacrificing their individual job class. The town needed to haul 1 ton of rocks in order to earn the reward. But the tally came up short, and they missed out on the town reward for the second time in a row. The lost reward was a choice of beds for the entire town or a kid lounge trailer.
Whoa.
So they're sleeping on cots, I assume?
In tents or like,
It's either tents or cots, yeah.
What's the deal here, Greg?
I don't know. I would to be honest, I would take the trailer. Just me.
Just you?
Just me. I just want to. You probably get air conditioning in that trailer, I bet.
Oh, I bet you there's unlimited pixie sticks in the trailer, too.
Oh, yeah. All the pixies.
And no curfew.
No curfew.
Uh-huh.
You do whatever you want there.
Go totally Studio 54, absolutely.
Blaine was the Gold Star winner in episode 9. In its new Yellow District, he was able to shine out from under Greg's shadow. His performance helped the Yellow team make it across the finish line second in the minecart race and gave them the necessary motivation and assistance to more effectively complete their jobs in Bonanza City. Now, we have an exit in this episode. Despite the comforting efforts of Taylor and Greg, Randy became homesick and ultimately decided to leave Bonanza. Her decision was reached after 2 nights and much ribbing by the other members of the town.
They're kids. They're going to give her harsh ribbing.
Yeah.
So sad.
Episode 10. Let me talk. The town council creates a game meant to improve communication and build respect, but gets heat from the town for being disrespectful themselves. The town council responds by threatening to give the gold star to no one. Meanwhile, Greg and Blaine spy on the Green District, bashing them, and they are not pleased with what they hear. After a series of confrontations, Greg makes the town an offer. If more than half the town wants him to go home, he will pack up and leave Bonanza forever. The kids refused and wanted Greg to change. After hearing a word from Jonathan, Greg apologizes for his behavior and promises to try to change.
So it's like, what? How many times has Greg promised to change?
Oh yeah, this is what I mean by he's kind of like the villain of this show.
It's like Greg is the villain and Jared is just trash.
Well, just remember what was said in the previous episode when the district reassignments occurred. Anjay said he wanted to separate Greg and Blaine because, quote-unquote, bad things happen.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's wrong.
All right, guys, we have a showdown in this episode. The citizens of Bonanza ran a pie race.
Pies.
Yeah, pies were hoisted to the top of a tower where a district member would place it on top of 2 pie holders held by 2 more district members balancing on beams. The pie-holding members had to balance the pie and transport it across the beams to another tower, while another district member would take it and slide down a chute to the district's council member below. The council leader then had to dig to the bottom of the pie to uncover a picture or of a mode of communication, telegraph, telephone, typewriter, etc., and put the pies in chronological order according to the invention date of the mode of communication. The town won the reward, a choice of 4 ponies or letters from home.
Okay, what are they going to do with 4 ponies?
Well, I wonder, do you guys think that Peter Griffin took one of the ponies to give to Meg when she needed it? At a certain time where she would need it?
Forgive me, Chico, for saying this.
Pony.
Pownell.
Just remember, ponies do need food.
Yeah.
You remember that pony you wanted when you were 6? Well, I bought him, and I've been saving him for a time like this. Surprise! oh, God, that's right. Ponies like food, don't they? Oh, boy.
The town council considered the ponies because they thought if they chose the letters, kids might become very homesick and leave. After a hard decision, the council chose the letters. Despite the council's decision to deny Taylor any rewards, they gave her her letter in exchange for a promise that she would work harder in the future.
I can understand why they'd be homesick, but also at the same time, this episode, Let Me Talk, is happening between days 29 and 31. So that means the kids have been separated from their parents for just about a month now. I can definitely understand them wanting to hear something from home. You know, oh, your brother went to summer camp. You know, dad got a raise. We're going to have a new puppy when you get home, or a new baby. Some sort of encouragement. So they made the right choice, I believe.
While the new town council threatened not to give out a gold star, they decided to recognize Laurel's hard work throughout the first 28 days of Bonanza's town council. No exits in this episode, although several kids intimated that they might leave. Taylor once again threatened to leave after DK and the town council brought pressure to bear on her for lack of work. Both Zach and Laurel contemplated leaving after the seemingly disastrous way in which the new town council was operating. At the town council meeting, Greg, fed up with the town's dissatisfaction, offered to leave if more than 50% of the town voted him out.
So what happened?
He didn't leave. He got 49% of the vote.
Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah, that was close.
Well, I don't know whether he got 49%, but that would be kind of funny.
Yeah. Okay, on day 28, Bonanza City held their second town council elections. Election rules was the same as last time, although this time the entire process from the announcement that there would be an election to the election itself took place within a single town hall meeting. An entirely new town council was elected. In the Green District, Michael defeated Laurel 6-3 as Michael decided that he wanted to develop his leadership skills and decided to run against Laurel. In the Blue District, Greg defeated Anjay 7-2 as Anjay was defeated after receiving only his and Alex's votes.
Okay, now we got to remember two things. One, Anjay was the person who sort of started the rearranging, the realignment because of his comments previously about the people in his district not being that smart, but also Greg, who said, oh, if half of you want me to leave, I'll leave. Well, look at this. 7 of his own just voted for him, so he must not be as hated as he thinks he is.
In the Red District, DK won unopposed as Guyland decided not to run, asking the town council to vote him off. In the Yellow District, Blaine defeated Zach 5-4 as Blaine promised to motivate the town more than the current town council and won by a narrow majority. Episode 11. This is a comment I would always say whenever I would go to school. I just like the recess part.
Who doesn't like Recess?
Everybody likes Recess.
Oh, Recess is a great show. Oh, wait, we're not talking about that.
No, we're not talking about that.
The town council issues Taylor an ultimatum. Work or don't share in any of the town rewards and watch as the other kids reap the benefits. Taylor is still refusing to work after promising to start working harder in the last episode, as she remains adamant about not liking to be bossed around. The town council swears to withhold any reward that they may win from her, no matter what it is this time. However, Zach, her former opponent, becomes her unlikely motivator by treating her with respect. Meanwhile, the council appoints Sophia as the first town sheriff when everyone else in town starts shirking their duties also. They chose Sophia because she's responsible. Oh yeah, Sophia's like she's like the one smart person in this show. Well, she is.
I'm sorry. I apologize. If anybody who was on Kid Nation hears this, I apologize for laughing at what Greg just said, but he's not wrong.
Yeah. She's responsible. The citizens of Bonanza City in the showdown were given a literal pop quiz. Each district was given time to study a pamphlet detailing the history of Bonanza City. Jonathan then asked the town questions based on... Oh, yeah, we forgot to mention the guy that's hosting this show. It's some guy named Jonathan Karsh.
Who?
Exactly. He's like that. What's her face from Joe Millionaire season 1?
Who?
Exactly. Nobody cares about this guy.
It's like, all I know is he won the Audience Award and the Best Directors Award at the 2003 Sundance Film Festival before Kid Nation.
At least we all know who Dunkelman is.
Yeah. I mean, come on. Brian Dunkelman was a better host than this guy.
I don't even remember who. I was like, for a moment there, I didn't even think the show had a host.
Yeah.
And also, we should add, Brian Dunkelman will show up on future installment 3 South.
Huh.
Oh, yeah, I forgot he was on that show.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Jonathan asked the town questions based on it, and 3 answers were printed on balloons behind him. The districts answered by using a slingshot to pop the 2 balloons with the incorrect answers. The first district to answer 3 questions correct were the upper class. The second were the merchants, and so on. The leftover ammunition from all the districts had to completely fill a jar for the town to get the reward. They were successful, and the reward was a choice between books for a library or a free video game arcade. And guys, for the first time, the council went with the fun option and chose the arcade. Taylor is initially denied entry, but is later allowed in after working harder.
Proving for once and for all, kids hate books.
Hey, you give somebody a choice between books and an arcade. 9 times out of 10, they're gonna pick the arcade.
Now wait, I gotta know, what was in the arcade? Was it old school games, or was it like Dance Dance Revolution? Was it some of the arcade games from the late 90s and early 2000s, which really sucked compared to their video game counterparts from 20 years earlier? I'm sorry. Give me Pac-Man, Dig Dug, Frogger, all those games all day. I don't want to play any of the kiddie crap that they played from the early 2000s.
Okay, they had Dance Dance Revolution, but they did have a joust machine.
Oh
my God, they have a joust machine.
Okay, yeah. I'm there for joust. Dance Dance Revolution.
I'm there for Dance Dance Revolution.
Okay, they got Hydro Thunder.
I'm there for Hydro Thunder.
Hydro Thunder and they got an air hockey table.
I'm there for the.
I'm there for the air hockey, and I'll be there for joust.
Okay, Hunter was the Gold Star winner in this episode because his hard work was finally recognized by the council.
I don't think we've heard Hunter's name before now. So that sort of shows how, for lack of a better word, neglected he was?
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, good on Hunter.
Well, no exits. The broadcast did not show anyone talking about leaving. And for the first time, the broadcast did not show Jonathan asking if anyone wanted to leave. And also they put on Wikipedia for some reason, it is also Michael's 15th birthday.
Yay.
Cool. A new leader was added to the town after the kids neglected their duties. The council appointed Sophia to help enforce the rules, as we mentioned, giving her the title of town sheriff. Many of the kids were really upset at possibly having an unelected leader. Sophia, however, was honored at her new responsibility as sheriff. Like I said, she's the one smart person on this show.
Or at least the one responsible person.
Yeah.
One person you could trust. Yeah.
Episode 12. Where's Bonanza, dude? The town council goes on an expedition beyond Bonanza City and meets with Native Americans whose wisdom changed how the council approached giving the Gold Star. Sheriff Sophia is left in charge of Bonanza City while the council was away to make sure everyone gets their jobs done before being allowed inside the arcade. With only a few days left, everyone realizes it's not going to be easy saying goodbye to their Bonanza City family, and they make a vow to make the most of the rest of their time here. Okay, in the showdown, without the town council, the town had to run a race to build homesteads. With a nod to the Homestead Act, each district had a house, an alpaca, chickens, and a flag to move from one end of a field to the other in 60 minutes. The first team to finish moving their homestead became the upper class. Each district completed their homestead, with the yellow district finishing in the nick of time. The reward was a choice between a monument dedicated to Kid Nation or a ride in a hot air balloon to allow the kids an aerial view of the product of their efforts over the past 36 days. Sophia had been appointed by the council to choose the reward and decided upon the hot air balloon rides. Now, guys, a monument, okay? If I were in the town of Kid Nation, I would say, guys, you know what I think we should build?
A monument to McLean Stevenson.
You're damn right I would suggest they build a monument to McLean Stevenson. And they'd say, who's McLean Stevenson? I was like, dude,
You don't know who McLean Stevenson is?
you don't know who McLean Stevenson is, kids?
Get out of this town.
I don't want to know you. Get the hell out of here.
Oh, no. I was afraid Greg was going to say it. I'm glad I did, though. Oh, no. What do you mean you kids don't remember Hello, Larry? We weren't born then. Oh, for heaven's sake.
Oh, boy.
Oh, you almost lost me there. Oh, my gosh. Again, proving Sophia is the rational of the group. Plus, also, what necessarily does a monument dedicated to Kid Nation really bring to the festivities? I really think the balloon ride was the obvious choice here because you get to see what you've created, especially over the last 36 or so days, as they mentioned.
You get to see everything on flying a hot air balloon. And who it's a hot air balloon. Come on.
But I would have loved to see the monument dedicated to McLean Stevenson, who had nothing to do with Kid Nation.
Alex was the Gold Star winner in episode 12, as Alex's hard work and intelligence were the determining factors in winning the award. No exits, and regarding the arcade, sad news. The town council shut down the video arcade permanently because of its service as a distraction from work, communication, and interaction with the other pioneers during their last days in Bonanza, though with some protest from other pioneers.
Yep.
Gotta give kids their DDR.
Yeah. Okay, the final episode. We've all decided to go mad. The kids wake up to see the job board burnt down and destroyed. The town then gathered around the job board with Jonathan, who burned the journal after Mallory suggested it, and the pioneers unanimously agreed. After that, many of the kids go chaotic, ignoring the protests from the other kids. After raiding the town's dry goods store, the pioneers come together as a group and clean up their mistakes. After the showdown, they are finally reunited with their parents and share a town party with them. After the giving of three $50,000 gold stars, the pioneers say their goodbyes and leave the town they built forever.
Oh.
I wondered, is this still existing? Is this extant?
This town, as it were.
Yeah.
It's a filming ranch. It has to exist, right?
Well, but I mean, I'm talking about what the kids did in Kid Nation. All these upgrades and the changes that they all saw when they went on the balloon ride. It wasn't one of those things where after filming was done, it was essentially, let's say, struck, for lack of a better word, and then sort of returned to its former glory, kind of, sort of.
Yeah, I'm guessing that's what happened.
Yeah, though I'd love to see if the arcade is still there. I'd love to get to that 13-year-old or it hasn't been touched in 13-year-old joust game, which is actually like 40 years old at this point.
Fun fact, you know what was filmed there in 2014? Seth MacFarlane's A Million Ways to Die in the West.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, that is an actual functioning hot set, I believe the kids call it.
And we know that Seth MacFarlane was playing Joust.
He's playing Hydro Thunder. Get it right.
No, he's a kid of the 80s. He played Joust.
Although I would love to see Seth MacFarlane playing Hydro Thunder. That would be a cool image to see. Oh, I got an even better idea. Seth MacFarlane as Ryan Lochte playing Hydro Thunder.
Oh boy.
How many swims would you give it, Mike?
Hey, look, there's one final showdown.
Oh, there was one final showdown for Bonanza City, but without individual districts, as the town competed as a whole and had 3 tasks to complete. Make dinner, which was pasta, build picnic tables, and take out the trash, and subsequently bury it. The same task occurred in episode 6. The first task was made easier by the town council's decision in episode 3 to take the microwave. Okay, so they did make the smart decision to take the microwave. That's great. They had 1 hour to complete the 3 tasks. The reward for this showdown was 3 additional gold stars worth $50,000 each. Now, Zach was the final $20,000 gold star winner. When faced with an impromptu decision, the town council recognized Zach's hard work and his attitude toward making Bonanza a better place. Now, the town earned 3 big gold stars as a reward this week, with each being worth $50,000. The winners were Sophia, who was considered by the town council to be the most consistent hard worker in the town, as well as the most consistent in attitude towards the community. The council noted this was the easiest decision for them, as Sophia had been a constant hard worker and source of encouragement for the other kids. She had also won a $20,000 gold star in the first episode. Morgan was selected by the council for her attitude and helpfulness in uniting the community. Morgan had consistently played the role of a calming presence and seemed to be the big sister for the entire town. She had also won a $20,000 gold star in the 4th episode. And then, Miggle. The council I love how it says on Wikipedia. The council recognized Miggle, a minor character, as the most improved Bonanza citizen.
And this is the first time, I don't know if it's Miggle or Migle, this is the first time we're hearing of this kid.
Miggle?
I'm gonna
Miggle?
Miggle, Miggle,
okay.
yeah.
I just want to say this. Hashtag Jared was robbed.
Jared didn't get anything in this, I don't think.
Jared did not get anything. They should have. This is the new hashtag Gary was robbed. Jared was robbed.
Also, his name, it looks like is Migle, and oh my gosh. Well, he came from Lithuania.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
His name is Migle. Migle.
Got it.
It's a she, not a he. She.
Oh, okay.
Migle. There you go.
Yeah, Migle. She is actually an aspiring actress, and it says is represented by Charlie's Talent Agency.
Oh, okay. That's good.
So apologies to Migle.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Well, guys.
As I say, this is the first time I'm seeing your name. If I screw it up, I humbly apologize, but I'll get it right the second time.
Yeah. Well, guys, Kid Nation was one of the most controversial shows of the 2007 fall season.
Bordering on exploitative.
Yeah. CBS didn't even bother to screen this for critics.
Nope. That's like one of the red flags that, like, you know your show is crap. Don't even bother to screen it for the critics because you know your show is crap.
Now, Tom Shales of the Washington Post, reviewing the first episode, suggested the show is not so much an exercise in socialization as the indoctrination of children into a consumer culture. Shales pointed out that the kids' decisions included buying root beer at the saloon with quote-unquote real money, but not hiring or being hired, as their money was parceled out to them according to their predetermined situations in life. And by the third episode, some advertisers that had shied away from Kid Nation due to its initial controversy had begun to purchase time.
Money talks.
Damn right, money talks.
And it's like money talks and BS walks, and it walked right into Kid Nation. And yeah, like I said, we'll form this new community, but we won't do it for free.
No. And actually, Time Magazine named Kid Nation one of the top 10 new series of 2007. Do you know what it ranked as?
What did it rank as?
10th.
Yeah.
Which is funny considering there are only 9 new shows in 2007.
It's like we have to pick a 10th show. Oh jeez. All right, so let's put Kid Nation in there. Whatever.
Yeah, we can't pick the rich list. No, that's gone after 1 episode. Future installment, by the way.
Yeah.
But Kid Nation, guys, it was 1 season. It was 1 and done. But guys, recently, this show has come back into our collective consciousness. And why is that? Because Funny or Die has done an ongoing web series about Kid Nation.
Yep. And I'll tell you right now, it is a really good watch. It is. It's if you're a fan of Funny or Die's regular stuff, this is something you should waste your time on because, again, it offers like really in-depth analysis, and the thing of it is, it's not that in-depth. I mean, the show itself is not in-depth. The show itself just happens. You expect these kids to have some sort of nuance or some sort of ulterior motive to their actions? No! They're just there to survive until the end of it.
They're just kids. Now, one story that I'm reading about, apparently on the set, a child drank bleach.
Wait, what?
I'll say that again. A child drank bleach. Ente explained that this had been the result of a bottle of bleach being mistaken for a bottle of seltzer water that they had for flavoring drinks in the town store. But medical staff that were there immediately treated the affected child, who returned to the set shortly afterward. So they had a bottle of bleach there instead of seltzer water, and they were making flavored drinks in that in the dry goods store or the general store. Yikes. That's all I'm going to say is yikes. That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It almost sounds like this was sort of doomed from the start.
Well, you want to...
Well, I mean,
we're getting ahead of ourselves, aren't we?
Well, no, I agree with that, but just from the Lord of the Flies sort of like backstory, do we not remember what happened in Lord of the Flies after everything was said and done?
Yeah.
Spoiler, it didn't end well.
Yeah. The island, if I'm not mistaken, caught fire. Which is totally not the fault of the kids, except it was.
Exactly, because, and also let's remember, I don't want to get into a big literature lesson from 30 years ago, but let's remember Piggy's glasses were what created fire when it got the sunlight, and somebody broke Piggy's glasses. So you know what? Oh, you've got no more fire.
Yep.
So there goes your civilization, and it, like I said, it sounds like this was doomed from the start, and we're not even talking about like the last episode where apparently anarchy was a new word in the kids' lexicons. So what did we learn on this show? Keep society to the grown-ups.
Oh God, that's even worse.
Yeah. You know what? I don't care. Let the kids run the town. I don't care.
Just like let the kids run the town. Hey, they can make conscious decisions, and hell, they could put an arcade in. I don't care.
Yeah, just let them give me a Hydro Thunder arcade. Yeah, that's cool.
Let them play joust till their hands fall off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, what can we say except Kid Nation, Kid Power, Kid Rule, Kid Ambition, actually an adult-sized ambition, but in the end, it was just a thing on TV.
And unlimited drinks laced with bleach.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, that's... well, somebody screwed up big time there. I didn't even know they had bleach back in Bonanza City. Well, that's episode 95. Oh my gosh, we're 95% the way to 100. I can math.
And guys, this is the 100th piece of content we've put on the site.
This is, yeah, because we had 95 episodes, normal episodes, 2 minisodes, 2 live shows, and we had technically our pilot, episode 0. So yeah, we've hit 100. So this isn't necessarily episode 100, but it's 100 uploads. So yay, we've hit the 3-digit mark. And speaking of digits,
yes.
Speaking of digits, on Thursday the 17th of September, we crossed 10,000 downloads. So that tells me right there, we're averaging over 100 downloads per upload. Whether it's 150 or 80, it all averages out to like 101 or 102 downloads per upload. So we're like overjoyed. Yeah, I don't think we ever in our wildest dreams thought we'd get to 5 digits. But we thank you very much for sticking with us. We thank you for listening. We thank you for your patronage. And here we go to 20,000, I think. So maybe this time next year we'll talk about 20,000.
Yep, but in a few days' time, we will talk about it's not the same project. Granted, it's a similar project, but it's not the same project. One would even be so brash as to say it ended up being a $50 million boondoggle.
Yeah, and you were afraid of advertisers leaving Kid Nation. Oh, losing $50 million, that's unthinkable. Heads roll. You lose jobs losing that type of money.
Mm-hmm.
We'll just have to find out if a head got rolled. We'll look into that next episode on Thursday. But again, for now, thank you again. 10,000 plus downloads. Thank you for listening. Thank you, as always, to my compatriots here for another job well done. And we'll be here on Thursday with episode 96 of It Was a Thing on TV. Thank you very much for listening.
Wow! Okay, next up, we have one person that's been practicing this all night. Give it up for my man, Jared.
Okay, now get up. Okay, I'm doing a monologue from Shakespeare's King Henry V. What's to say? A very little must we do, and all is done. Then let the trumpet sound and the tucket sonance, and though we upon this mountain's bases by took stand for idle watch. But behold yon poor and starved band, and your fair show shall suck away their souls, leaving them but the shells and husks of men.